Yep, we're good. Yeah. We're good, just kidding.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for attending our meeting today. We always start our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you would join me, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We're going to start the meeting today with the opening of bids for a four-wheel loader. I'm just not sure how to read it. I don't know how to.
I would read the brand name, the dealer, and total price. They're gonna take them all under advisement anyway.
I know,
so,
right,
yeah.
okay, so we're gonna take the brand name, the dealer, and the bottom line, and then we'll take them under advisement. Okay, first bid we have here, the product is Doosan,
I believe.
B&W equipment from Fort Wayne, and their bid is $167,854 and 13 cents.
First one I have is from RPM Machinery in Fort Wayne for a case model 721G. Final bid's $195,450.
Okay, I've got McAllister Cat, and total price with an extended warranty is $226, $146.47.
I got one from West Side Tractor Sales. Bear with me a minute. For a John Deere 426L four-wheel drive loader. $189,600. We got another one from West Side.
It's a duplicate copy.
Oh, it's the same thing? Okay. All right.
Okay, I got one from Rudd Equipment. It's for a Volvo wheel loader. Price is $179,423.
I think that's all of them, right?
Yeah, that's all of them. Mr. Chairman, I move we turn these bids over to Brandon and take them under advisement and report back next
We have a
meeting.
motion to take the bids under advisement.
A second?
Have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. We will take the bids under advisement and let Brandon go through them for clarity. Thank you very much, appreciate it. Thank all the dealers for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Okay, and with that, we'll go
That
to,
thing hangs down, doesn't it?
yeah. Where'd everybody go? Attorney Shipman.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I've got just a couple things to kind of report on, one of which, and it's probably why Paul is here. Paul had me look at a contract for a master service agreement for the home wave, which is the communication system that community corrections and the jail is looking at doing. That looks fine to me. So whether, is that why you're here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Whether she wants to do that now or you want to, it's not really on the agenda, so I did look at that and it is fine. Then we resolved this week, and just pending the signing of final paperwork, that McKinney lawsuit that has been pending forever, and to make sure that you knew that. And I think that's it, unless you guys have any questions for me about anything.
I'd like Paula to come up here and explain a little more about her communication
Up
thing.
here and wave at us.
Sheriff's probably the expert at it.
Maybe both of you then.
First of all, thank you for looking at that so quickly and getting back with me. So actually, the sheriff,
Pardon me?
Probably be good.
I'm Paula Worden, I'm the Director of Community Corrections. Sheriff Gatton met with this vendor, I think it was last week or the week before, and was nice enough to send him our way because it can really generate some income for our department. In addition to that, provide more options for our participants to use. It's a better communication system for our participants to use. We don't have to touch any of the money. Individuals have to pay for the service, and then they're issued a PIN number. Is it a card or just a PIN number?
The PIN number is just written on a card.
Okay. So we don't, there's no money that we have to receipt in and create additional work for our auditor's office. But it should generate around $2,000 a month just for our department. Right now, we're generating $145 every quarter off our payphones.
That's great. Oh, you still have real payphones?
Yeah, we do. But in addition, obviously, if there's ever alleged sexual assault at our facility or any type of, this actually records the conversation.
Wow.
We can get the information.
Wow.
Who do you get to service those payphones?
It's called BAIR, B-A-I-R,
There's still people in business who do that?
apparently.
Wow.
Wow.
I did take it to my executive board as well, and they have no objections to it going forward.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Paula?
I do for Mark. Mark, is that what you're using right now then?
No, we're with Tailmate right now. Been looking around. Tailmate was sold, and of course, sometimes when businesses were sold, you're not getting the same service you did. So we started looking around, met with the rep, decided this was a better way to go because we're going to lose our kiosk in our lobby. They can put money on it. What's the name of it? It's not GoFundMe, it's
Yeah, I only
Pay
know.
Forward.
Oh, Pay Forward,
Pay
yeah, yeah.
Forward, and then they'll go to other vendors like CVS, Walgreens, and they'll go there. Also, I signed on with them because when we get everything running, there will be no mail coming into the jail anymore unless it's legal mail. They are going to scan all mail in, and the inmates will be able to look at it on a tablet in their own account. So we will not bring in any mail or introducing it into our facility any longer. And of course, later, I was going to come over later, but I'm going to be guaranteed $5,000 a month for the jail for commissary. So I thought I should let Paula know. I hope it works out. If it doesn't, I'll eat crow on it. But right now, it seems like a good. When she told me what they were making on payphones when we talked last week, I couldn't believe it. So. And then if an inmate goes back and forth, either out there to be a participant or to come back, it's the same system, same PIN number.
Yeah.
There's no changing anymore.
Yeah.
And like Paula said, they can monitor and go back and listen to any phone call that's made out of there now.
Are there upfront costs at all?
They're going to come in and do all the installation and
All the
they run
maintenance,
their own-
everything.
At least for us, they're running their own internet and Wi-Fi, so it's not bogging on anything else. So.
They said the same for us, yeah. And they'll put forms that we use, like to order commissary, forms that they need to submit if within the residential facility, it'll be available on the kiosk, and they'll just submit them to us electronically.
Ooh,
And that's what we're doing, all ours are going to go paperless, they can do grievances, their commissary, everything on this, the law library will be on it, so we don't have to transfer inmates to the law library.
wow.
Now, your participants out there at the work release, do they have access to this 24/7 then?
Well, no, because there's certain lockdown periods. These will be in the day rooms.
Okay.
So when they're not on lockdown, they'll be able to use it. But it'll be really nice for them to actually, the visitations with their children, I think that will be a nice option that they're not able to now.
You can do
Wow.
video conferencing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. That's great,
Technology.
I guess.
It's not really a contract, it says agreement, but I asked George if this is something definitely should come from you, so that's why I'm here today. I'm sorry, not on the agenda.
Yeah, I didn't want to act ignorant, but this is, we haven't heard about this before. Well, thank you
Neither
for,
have I, so thanks for
Is there
sharing.
anyone else have any questions, or, I don't know the questions to ask, so I have none.
From the nice part about this from the county is we really have no obligation other than to get a check every month. They do all the maintenance, all the upkeep, all the installation. I mean,
So,
We
in
just
Mark's
agreed to
case,
house
where
it.
they're gonna guarantee 5,000 a month, they're making more than $5,000 a month.
oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Wow. Oh, no, that's fine. Profit's not a four-letter word. I don't mean that. I'm just saying, so it must be quite a deal.
have you had anybody bring up how this worked in other counties?
I've talked to some other sheriffs, they've been happy with them, but we make a decent amount from our current system, but not guaranteed this amount. I mean, we can go, if we exceed the amount by either the video visitation that you can do on it, or phone calls and adding, we can actually generate more, but I am guaranteed no matter what. How much the usage is $5.
Okay, wow.
Now, this contract says that they're guaranteed 2,000 or 40% of the adjusted gross revenue, whichever is greater.
Whichever's greater. Oh, man. Get 10 of them, can you?
Let's do it.
That's great. Do you need anything from us?
Did you bring, I didn't know, did you bring one for them
I
to
did,
sign?
actually.
Okay, thank you.
So this is
On the last page.
the
there's
county,
just-
okay,
yeah,
it's the
there's
county.
a place for 3 signatures,
Okay,
so.
we have the contract here, if anybody wants to move on it.
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept the contract from New Wave,
Okay,
whatever,
we have a motion to accept the contract from Home Wave.
Home Wave, since it's approved, since the council has approved it.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the contract with Home Wave, raise your right hand. All opposed, the same sign.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, they give you any idea how soon this will be
I just wanted to
Up and
get back
running.
to them after I spoke with you today.
We have what they call kickoff phone conference next week to set our dates of when they're gonna come in and start installing, so. I'm hoping by May to have it.
Will there be any interference with our IT, with the county's IT?
No, because they're gonna run their own, internet, and when we have the kickoff, when they come here, they want IT involved too, just to make sure, IT and maintenance, so.
Cool.
Get all those dates set next week.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Very interesting. We didn't know about that today. Kim Erdly, appointment of PTABOA members. Excuse me.
I wasn't sure, I didn't really have
Thank you.
anything for her, yeah, pretty simple, really. You got one? Okay. We're just here for the annual appointment of our three PTABOA members for our three Property Tax Assessment Board of Appeal members. Be the same members, I spoke with all of them, so it'll still remain Greg Fall, Terry Nee, and Jeff Walker for the 2020 tax year.
Okay. Motion to appoint.
I'd make a motion that we appoint Greg Fall, Terry Nee, and Jeff Walker to the PTABOA board.
Second.
We have a motion and a second that we appoint Greg Fall, Terry Nee, and Jeff Walker to the PTABOA board. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Thank you, Kim.
Yep,
Thanks,
you.
Kim.
Brandon. Been through those bids yet?
Yeah. First time. We've got 3 pages of items to, check whether they're compliant or not. Most are not fully compliant with every item, but we do have also a clause in there to provide for demo. So we can actually
Oh,
check them out. So
yeah. Demonstrator, cool.
I'll go through them with Kevin.
Demonstrator for a year or so, or?
Yeah, right. Each.
Just want to make sure we like it, this is-
We'll share.
So, I emailed Jana and the 3 commissioners our annual financial report that we're required to submit to the state. What I handed out was just kind of some maybe summary highlights of some of this. For one, there used to be 2 funds at the highway department. There was local road and street and MVH. We now have 6 funds.
6.
Which the other, well, I'm sorry, there were 3 because Cume Bridge.
Cume Bridge, yeah.
But we basically added 3 funds, and that would be what we call the highway fund, which is our 4176 is the fund number. That's our wheel tax and buggy plates and driveway permits, miscellaneous revenues. We use that for administrative, basically salaries and benefits for the most part. Cume Bridge comes from property tax. A lot of people don't know that. Really, the only funding that goes towards anything highway related is Cume Bridge and property tax. The highway, like I said, is wheel tax. Local road and street, motor vehicle highway, and the most newly created motor vehicle highway restricted. Those funds all come from fuel tax and can basically be used for anything to do with roads and equipment and administration. The motor vehicle highway restricted fund is 50% of the total MVH fund, and that has to be used for construction, reconstruction, and preservation of roads. I've said that probably way too many times in the last couple years, but we have actually, in preparing this final report, annual report and budgets for the last 2 years, we've done some tweaking, working with the auditor's office. We now have projects for our claims, and so each claim gets assigned to whether it is a winter operation, a maintenance operation, a preservation, or a administrative. So that, I don't know, you probably won't see that on when you review claims, but when they get entered in, we will be able to then get an export and just pop those numbers right into this annual report. We actually basically had to go claim by claim print out the ledger at the end of the year and go claim by claim and determine whether it was winter or maintenance or administration is quite tedious, so. And then the sixth fund that I've listed there is community crossings, which we actually have to have a separate fund. That also comes from fuel tax, but it is a grant program. We've talked about that quite a bit. We got about $1.2 million that we received and spent last year for community crossings. So the total of all six funds was a little over 6.3 million for the year 2019, and the total expenses were a little over 5.3 million. Difference being $1 million, and I'll go into further down the money that was left at the end of the year, basically. Cume Bridge receipts, $928,000. Cume Bridge expenses, $458,000. That means we left a lot of money in that fund, but the reason for that was because we basically had to save money to pay for the replacement of the wood bridge that we're working on right now. So, don't think that I'm just collecting money to be sitting on it. So the total of the local road and street, MVH restricted, which are the main highway funds, 3.6 million in receipts, 3.2 million in expenses. And then, so as I said in Cume Bridge, the ending balance is 1.9 million, but we've got the timber bridge going and another bridge planned after that. The highway, which is our local wheel tax, 321,000. Considering we just started that fund 2 years ago, I guess it's kind of nice to have a little bit of money in the bank, but there is a potential that we could absorb some of our other expenses into that fund, because that doesn't count towards the 50% CRP. Local road and street, that balance is 505,000 at the end of the year, but we had money encumbered for the purchase of 2 single axle trucks, which should be delivered to Jones either this week or next week.
Oh, good.
But Kevin drove by there the other day, and I got an email from one of their guys. They're pretty busy right now, so they told us 1 to 2 months going into it. I would say it's probably going to be 2 months. Maybe plus, but that's all right. We didn't expect it any sooner. Ending cash balance on MVH, 787,000. But on MVH restricted, that is a minus 65,000. So that is actually a sub-fund from the MVH. And it's new, and we'll see what State Board of Accounts says about that number being negative, but I've talked with Jana and Tiffany about that. That's a good thing, because that means we spent more than we brought in, which means that we spent more than 50% of the MVH money, which was the goal of the legislation in the first place, to spend at least 50%.
That's right.
So I'm actually happy to see that number in the negative.
Sure.
But then you can take that from the 787, because there's not actually 787,000. And then community crossings was zero, because we spent every penny they give us. Or actually, we had to return about $26.
Excellent.
So, and then just, real brief, 548 miles of hard surface, 82 miles of gravel road in Whitley County, for 320 total miles in the last 4 years, 4 construction seasons, 2016 to 2019. We've chip sealed 299 miles of road and paved 25 miles, which is 59% of our hard surface roads. And we, for this year, we applied for a community crossings project to convert some of the 82 miles of gravel to hard surface. So that's...
Okay, I'm world's worst mathematician or missing something here, okay? There's 548 miles of hard surface road, 82 miles of gravel road.
Yeah,
300.
620, my bad.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
no, that's okay.
Yeah,
Just
no.
620, okay.
I'm gonna say I'm a better at math than
Okay. You know, and I think everybody likes to see money in the bank. But I appreciate the way, yes, you have money in the bank. One thing that needs to be brought out, though, is sometimes that money in the bank has to be used for the first 6 months of the year also.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, it isn't like we can throw a party with $1 million, because it's just, that's what was left that goes towards 2020. So it makes it.
Also, when the DLGF when they looked at our 2020 budget proposal, they assumed that we were gonna spend every penny that was budgeted for 2019. So I actually we had to cut, I forget, 40 or 60,000 from the 2020 budget, even though we ended up with money on the cash page.
Yep.
So, and you know, you guys know, you do the same thing. You put these budgets together in June.
We do. And
For the following year, and there's a lot of variables in the highway.
And I think what a lot of people don't understand is when we do that in June, we don't do a 12-month budget. We do an 18-month budget. So, because you always have to worry about that first 6 months of the ensuing year. So, yeah, it's all in all, it's really, really good numbers.
Well, you know, we're healthy. I mean,
Yeah.
we're spending money, we're getting things done, and other than the one fund, we're not in the red, and that's the fun to be in the red, so.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great. Any questions for Brandon?
Just one question, for the community crossings, if we do get that, do you know approximately how many miles of roads we're looking to convert?
I only put in for one project of 2 miles. Gravel road conversion, at least the way we've proposed it, it doesn't have to be, but for our purposes, it needs to be a force account, meaning by our own forces. And, you know, per state law, a force account project cannot be more than 250,000. Well, even though it's two miles of gravel road on opposite ends of the county, because it's one community crossings project, the state considers it to be a project, and you can't have it be more than 250,000. So I've actually got in the works to convert a couple more miles besides that, actually about 2.5, I think. I mean, but again, and with the paving that we've proposed and the gravel road conversion, we were at about 960,000, which you can only apply for $1 million. So I couldn't really take it any further. We could have, you know, another 500 feet or something, but.
No, I got you, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, and you'll know when about.
Oh, I'd be not totally surprised, but I'd be kind of surprised if we heard before the 1st of April.
Yeah.
It depends on how many applications come in, and, you know, if they have to make tough decisions to not fund projects. I did learn that last year, because last year was the first year where they had January call and July call, so this is the second year, and last year in January they had a lot more calls than in July, which that's understandable, because if you get an award in July, you can just chalk it off till the next year. But another thing you have to consider, they only give you 18 months to not just complete the project, but have all the paperwork closed out with and approved by them. So I just think it's better as far as timing wise and scheduling if we can get the award even in late April or early May, we can still bid it to be done this year and get everything closed out.
Okay. Anybody have anything for Brandon?
No.
Thank you very much, Brandon.
Yes, if you are comfortable wish to approve it and sign it, that'd be fine, and if you'd
Oh.
rather digest it, that's fine too.
Oh, the county, or the annual report?
The annual report, yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion on the floor to approve the annual report?
I so move we approve it.
Do you have a motion?
I'll second.
Have a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor of affirming the annual report, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Thank you. I forgot we have these to do.
Currently, this, when they print the laser and color, it's kind of like them real chintzy receipts that you get. If you don't push too hard from the beginning,
If you don't push too hard,
push too hard, it doesn't
that's pressure. I don't know if I can take this
Just
pressure.
don't push too hard. And we do have, I have to upload that to a new data management portal. I'm assuming it'll work, all the numbers balance.
Do you use Gateway for this? Or is it- Nope,
This
okay.
is, this
one
is through LTAP. We used to email a report to State Board of Accounts and LTAP, and then, now it goes through an LTAP thing,
They do the distribution?
and we have to upload it as a spreadsheet, and it checks, I don't know what it checks, the math or the formatting or whatever, so. Assuming that it lets me upload it, you won't hear any more about that.
Okay. Anything else, sir?
Right-of-way permits.
Okay, we have three, each one of us have one there. George, you want to go ahead and see
The
yours?
first one I have is along 700 South Columbia City, Indiana, approximately 560 feet west of South Washington Road. It's for CenturyLink. Put in 2 pedestals.
Move we approve it.
Got a motion to approve?
Second?
Have a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign.
I got one from TriStar Businesses, Tri-Lake Sewer District. On East Crampton Road, two places. Directional bore. Move we approve it.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. I have one from, I'm going to say NIPSCO. Yep, from NIPSCO to provide gas service to 1186 West 700 South and 1262 West 700 South. Motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Second? Have a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Now, Brandon, I assume you would have jumped in if there was a problem, right?
I okayed DCF them all.
Yeah, okay.
We need a stamp for these.
Now, we just need one place to sign. Okay. There you guys go. only, you only have 2 signatures on this one.
That's all I could find.
Huh?
That's all I could find.
Yeah. Only,
Oh, I tabbed through.
okay, I think we're done with that one.
No, I think it's okay.
Oh, a tab got folded in. All right, we'll send it on down the line. Okay. Okay, next we have claims.
Thank
I
you,
looked the
Brandon.
claims over Friday. All looked good to me on the regular expenses for the county. So I move we approve the payroll claims all first.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion second, all in favor, raise your right hand, all opposed, same sign. That was payroll,
Correct.
okay? You wanna make a motion on,
Yeah, but I also move we pay the regular claims.
okay, you have a motion?
Second?
You have a second, all in favor, raise your right hand, all opposed, same sign.
I have to say, when I was looking at those, I was astounded at the electric bill for this building.
Oh,
And Mark's not here, but I don't know if there's any energy savings we can do in here for light. That's all we have is lights. You know, it's not any big motors or
and
anything.
they're not 24 hours a day,
No.
like the jail, I understand the jail and the places that are 24 hours a day, but my goodness, here,
Mark
Yeah.
did talk to us about the heaters, the desk heaters,
but what?
desk heaters underneath the desk.
Oh, that would take a lot.
But I don't know if the lights, if there's any energy savings. things that's
We switched
available.
at our office from these halogens to the LEDs, and it made us, they're expensive, but there's tax credits available for doing that, and,
I'll have to have Mark take a look at that.
yeah, and they're a lot brighter on top of not
Okay.
having that glow of the halogen.
Yeah, yeah.
But we noticed it.
I don't remember what the figure was, no, but it was, I mean, it was thousands for this building.
Yeah.
Okay, if everyone has had a chance to review the minutes of the February 3rd meeting, I'd entertain a motion to approve or make changes as necessary.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a change on the second paragraph. It was actually Chairman Amber.
Okay. All right, we have a modification to it, changing from Chairman Schrumpf to Chairman Amber. Open the meeting. Anything else?
I'll move we approve them as corrected.
Okay, have a motion to approve as corrected.
I'll second.
I have second, all in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Jennifer? Matt?
Anything else?
There's nothing.
I don't have anything.
Okay. I just have a couple things here. Mary's still here. Do we need to appoint a library board member? Right.
And I ready, so there was an article in the paper about it, and looking at applications on the website.
That was your, I was wondering if that was your hopes for that is, now, is that a political appointment? Like,
Yes, you're the appointing authority, so whatever applications come in,
but does it have to be one party or the other? See, some of the things we do, it depends on the party, so.
there's no party.
Okay.
However, they are distinguished by where they live, so it has to be Columbia City, Columbia Township, or Thorn Creek Township.
Gotcha.
And that's part of the application.
Gotcha.
Once I get the applications, I will give all that information to you, because you'll be the appointing authority, and you will decide from them who will be.
Okay, thank you.
Will you give us recommendations?
I can if you want me to.
Yes, I think, you're the person that has to really work with the people.
Okay.
So, I think in the past, we've pretty much gotten away from putting our friends and stuff on these boards. We're trying to get people on the boards that want to be on the boards, have an interest, and will do well. So, yeah, so we'd appreciate your input on that one, okay?
Okay.
Okay. We have received a proposal for a needs assessment for our community corrections program. I'm wondering if, I need some directions. Do we want to negotiate this program?
I think from everything that we've done and listened to, I think that's the only true program that does give us a needs assessment rather than an evaluation.
Or a feasibility study?
Feasibility study.
Yep,
So,
yep, okay.
my recommendation would be to go with performance services.
Okay.
But we still have to come up with some kind of a price.
So would that be, go with them based on the acceptance of the negotiations?
Yes.
Didn't want to put words in your
No,
mouth. I'm just
that would be
making sure.
perfect.
Okay, so we have a motion to go with performance services based on based on negotiations with them, so.
Second that motion.
I have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Anybody from the audience, public, have anything to say? Okay. Motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. So moved.
Thank you, everyone.
I never thought we'd make it 45 minutes, did you? Wow.